Hello friends, welcome back to the true story on our channel Crime Chronicles US, where America's unsolved mysteries, vanished criminals, and chilling cases come alive. Every story is real, every detail matters, and the truth remains buried in the shadows. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay updated with every mystery. America at the dawn of the 20th century is waking from one century and stumbling into another, its streets alive with the rumble of carriages and the promise of electricity, the smell of industry, the press of crowds that grow thicker each year. Cities are swelling, people pouring in like tides, anonymous faces blending into restless avenues where children play on stoops and sidewalks, where mothers call them home at dusk, where doors are locked not from fear, but from habit. It is an age that believes in progress, in invention, in the upward march of civilization. And yet beneath the polished shoes and bright shop windows, there are corners where light does not reach. In those corners, a man walks. He doesn't look like a monster. He looks like someone's neighbor, someone's uncle, someone who might offer a child a penny or a piece of candy. Someone who smiles just a little too long. He carries no visible threat. He blends in perfectly with the crowds that move through New York streets, through the busy boroughs where laundry hangs from windows and voices echo between brick walls. If you passed him on the sidewalk, you would not turn your head. If he sat beside you on a train bench, you might nod politely and then forget his face the moment he left. This is how the most dangerous predators survive, not by standing out, but by disappearing in plain sight. His name is Hamilton Howard Albert Fish. Born in the late 1800s, he grows up in a world that does not yet have the words we use today for psychological disorders, trauma, or criminal pathology. His childhood is unstable, shaped by institutions and isolation, by a strange mix of loneliness and learned habits that twist quietly inside him. No one looks closely enough. No one imagines what will form in the quiet spaces of his mind. By the time he reaches adulthood, he has built a life that appears ordinary on the surface. He marries, he has children, he works. He walks the same streets as everyone else. He fades into the background of everyday America, where people mind their own business, and trust is given easily. But beneath that ordinary exterior, something has grown unchecked. A secret world of fantasies and impulses that feed on silence. In the early 20th century, there is no internet, no global news cycle, no instant alerts. Crimes can vanish into rumor. Missing children can become tragic footnotes. A city can swallow a story whole. Fish understands this landscape instinctively. He knows where families are vulnerable, where poverty creates desperation, where children wander unsupervised, where neighbors do not ask too many questions. He begins to move through the city like a whisper. Sometimes he offers work. Sometimes he offers gifts. Sometimes he simply talks. He earns trust slowly, patiently, like a spider spinning thread by thread. The children who meet him do not see danger. Their parents do not see danger. And when a child disappears, explanations come easily. Maybe they ran away. Maybe they got lost. Maybe they met an accident. The world is large after all. The streets are crowded. Life is unpredictable. People accept these answers because the alternative is too terrible to imagine. Years pass. The city grows louder, brighter, faster. Radios enter homes. Newspapers print bold headlines. The roaring 20s approach, full of promise and noise. But somewhere behind that noise, disappearances continue, scattered across time and neighborhoods, never connected in a way that forms a clear picture. Police departments in this era do not share information the way they will decades later. Record keeping is imperfect. Psychology is young. Profiling does not exist. A predator can roam for years without being recognized for what he is. Inside his small rented rooms, Fish lives quietly, He writes letters. He keeps notebooks. He travels modest distances by train or foot. He is not wealthy. He is not powerful. His power lies in invisibility. He is the kind of person society overlooks until it is too late. Then, in 1928, a child named Grace Budd disappears. Her family is poor. Her father has placed an advertisement looking for help around the house. A man answers. He is polite. He is soft-spoken. He seems trustworthy. He visits the family. He talks with them. He asks if he can take Grace to a birthday party for his niece. He offers to return her home later that day. The family agrees. In that moment, a single decision opens a door that will haunt history. Grace does not return. Days pass, then weeks. Hope slowly turns into dread. The police investigate, but leads are thin. There are no cameras, no digital trails, just a man's description that could match thousands. Life moves forward, even as a family is frozen in grief. Years go by, 5 long years. The city changes. New buildings rise. New families arrive. New stories fill the newspapers. And then, in 1933, a letter arrives at the Budd family home. It is written in careful handwriting. It claims to be from the man who took Grace. It describes what happened to her. The content is horrifying, but I will not repeat its details here. What matters is that this letter brings the case back to life. It forces the police to reopen what had become a cold mystery. And it reveals something even more chilling. The sender is not hiding in fear. He is writing with a strange pride, as if daring the world to find him. The police study the letter. They notice details, paper type, envelopes, postmarks, tiny clues that to the average eye mean nothing. But detectives in this era are beginning to adopt new methods, new forensic thinking. They track the stationery to a specific shop. They stake out the store. They wait. And one day, a quiet older man walks in and buys the same type of paper. He does not run. He does not panic. When approached, he is calm. He gives his name. He answers questions. He seems almost relieved, as if the long game, the years of secrecy, have finally reached their end. When police search his belongings, they find writings that confirm their worst suspicions. Not just about Grace, but about other children, other incidents stretching across decades. The scattered puzzle pieces finally lock into place, revealing a single horrifying picture. When the story reaches the newspapers, the public is stunned. A man who looked so ordinary, a father, a worker, a neighbor, now unmasked as something else entirely. Reporters swarm, crowds gather outside courtrooms, psychiatrists study him. Policemen question how he remained hidden for so long. Parents hug their children tighter. America stares into a mirror it does not want to look into. The realization that monsters do not always look monstrous. During his trial, Fish speaks calmly. He does not scream. He does not break down. He describes his actions with unsettling detachment. Experts examine his mind, trying to understand what shaped him. Was he insane? Was he simply evil? The legal system debates, but for the families who lost children, explanations do not bring peace. In 1936, Albert Fish is sentenced to death. The execution is carried out quietly, without ceremony. No dramatic last words, no grand confession. Just the end of a man who had haunted city streets for years, unseen and unchallenged. But the story does not truly end there, because the questions remain. How did he move unnoticed for so long? How many families never received answers? How many children vanished into the gaps of a system not yet prepared to recognize such danger? How did society allow trust to become a doorway for harm? When we look back now, nearly a century later, we see Albert Fish not only as a criminal, but as a warning written in history's margins. A reminder that evil does not always roar. Sometimes, It whispers. Sometimes, it offers a helping hand. And as the lights of the city continue to flicker in our imagination, as the footsteps fade down distant sidewalks, we are left with a quiet understanding. The world has always had shadows. What matters is whether we learn to see them before they reach out and pull someone in. The corridor grows darker. The bulb flickers again. The silence returns. But there is still more to tell. Because history did not simply close the door after Fish's execution. His case went on to shape criminal psychology, police procedure, and public awareness in ways that changed how America understood predators forever. And that is where our story will continue. The story moves forward after the execution, but the echo of what happened does not fade quickly. In the years that follow, investigators, psychologists, and journalists return again and again to the case, not out of morbid curiosity alone, but because something about Albert Fish forces uncomfortable questions. How did a man who appeared so ordinary manage to operate unseen for so long? How did a society, proud of its progress, fail to recognize danger standing in plain sight? Files are reviewed, testimonies reread, notes studied with the intensity of people trying to solve a puzzle whose pieces have already been burned away. The case becomes a reference point, a dark chapter in textbooks and police academies. A story passed quietly between detectives who understand that sometimes the most terrifying criminal is the one who never announces himself. Psychologists debate what formed him. Some speak of trauma, of early institutionalization, of the effects of isolation on a developing mind. Others argue that explanation does not equal justification, that some acts sit beyond reason. At a time when behavioral science is still young, the case becomes a brutal teacher. It pushes the field forward, urging experts to develop new ways of identifying warning signs, new methods of understanding patterns of predatory behavior. Out of tragedy comes knowledge, though never enough to undo what was lost. Police departments also learn. Communication between precincts improves. Records become more systematic. Missing persons cases begin to receive greater attention. Slowly, the machinery of law enforcement evolves, shaped in part by the realization that danger can hide behind polite smiles and soft voices. Parents become more cautious. Newspapers print advisories. Communities begin to talk openly about safety, about trust, about the unsettling truth that not every friendly stranger is harmless. The world becomes just a little less naive. And yet, beyond the reforms and discussions, there remains the human element. Families who never received answers. Mothers who kept rooms untouched for years. Fathers who searched faces in crowds long after hope had thinned into pain. Their stories do not make headlines. They live in private grief, in silent prayers, in empty chairs at dinner tables. History remembers names in ink and headlines, but grief lives in the quiet corners of homes, where time does not heal so much as teach people how to carry the weight. Over decades, Albert Fish's name becomes part of the grim folklore of American crime history. Writers study him, filmmakers reference him, researchers cite him, but in every retelling, one fact remains. He did not appear monstrous. He appeared normal. And that is the detail that continues to unsettle generation after generation. The idea that evil does not always wear a mask, does not always announce itself, does not always arrive with violence at the door. Sometimes it arrives with a gentle voice, a handshake, a promise of help. Sometimes it blends so well into the crowd that even memory struggles to isolate it. As the 20th century rolls forward, technology advances. Cameras appear on streets. Fingerprints become routine. Databases connect jurisdictions. The world becomes more watchful, more interconnected. It becomes harder for a predator to remain invisible. And yet every time new tools appear, new threats emerge as well, evolving with the times. The lesson left behind by Fish's era is not that danger has been eliminated, but that vigilance must evolve too. In the end, what lingers most is not the man himself, but what his story represents. A mirror held up to society, showing the cost of blind trust and the consequences of overlooked warning signs. A reminder that children in every era remain the most vulnerable and the most precious. A reminder that communities must look out for one another, that instincts matter, that questions should be asked, even when politeness says to remain silent. And so the corridor from part 1 returns in the mind's eye. The flickering bulb, the long stretch of time, the footsteps that once moved unnoticed through crowded streets. Now they fade, swallowed by history. The silence that follows is not empty, but thoughtful. A pause for reflection. A moment to understand that while the past cannot be changed, the future is always being written by the choices made in the present. The story closes not with triumph, nor with despair, but with awareness. The knowledge that darkness has existed in every age, and that the greatest defense against it is not fear, but attention. The willingness to see what others overlook, to question what seems ordinary, to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The light steadies, the corridor ends, the door closes softly, and the listener is left with the final whisper of the tale. Monsters are real, but so is the power to recognize them. The end. So friends, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Crime Chronicles US for more chilling unsolved mysteries from across America. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next story.